Greetings, fellow Americans. Welcome to Fireside Chat, State of Our Nation. I am your host, Susanna Tanner, candidate for Congress 2026 and President 2028. So at the beginning of the year, Donald Trump signed Executive Order 14399, directing the creation of a list of confirmed U.S. citizens, and the USPS should provide this list. Just this last week, a federal judge blocked that executive order. According to the Washington State Office of the Attorney General, 23 attorneys generals and one governor, co-led by our own Washington State Attorney General, Nick Brown, they challenged the administration's attempt to restrict voting to individuals on lists pre-authorized by the federal government and lists maintained by the U.S. Postal Service. This attempt is pitifully unconstitutional. But let's talk about how we can verify this next election. It is apparent to me that paper ballots are a threat to Donald Trump. So that means that paper ballots are the only legitimate way to conduct this next election. There is emerging evidence through an investigation by the Election Truth Alliance that is showing that our electronic voting machines have been tampered with. This makes them an invalid and high-risk method to cast a ballot. Fortunately, many states already have paper ballots as an option. It is my opinion that the 2026 election should be conducted entirely by paper ballot in every state. We can drop off our ballots at local elections offices before Election Day. We can utilize ballot drop boxes. We can utilize Election Day to drop off our ballots at election locations that would normally host voting machines. We could ask our local offices, our local federal election offices, to have security at our ballot boxes that are strategically placed around each district. But that costs funding. Here in Washington State, our ballots are physical ballots, so we mail them in or drop them off at a ballot box. Paper ballots will verify this election. Now we're going to get to the part about USPS being involved in our elections. That in itself is unconstitutional. The USPS is not for managing our elections. That belongs to the states. It's a postal service. That means they transmit mail. They transmit messages. Nowhere in the Constitution or our laws does it say that the USPS is to maintain a list of any kind for election purposes. Sure, we've noticed that the USPS has declined a bit. This year they decided to, they decided to remove their guarantee of a postmark the day you send out your mail. I see this as an attempt to prevent election ballots from being counted. This executive order that Trump signed also tracks our elections, our election mail through a barcode. Barcodes on our election mail will allow the Trump administration to eliminate anonymity in voting. It will allow them to the ability to intercept ballots and potentially tamper with them. The USPS has proposed a rule for Trump regarding the mail-in ballot list. I have provided a link to the proposed rule in the description. You can send an email with comments about this rule to pcfederalregister@usps.gov with the subject line ballot mail for comment. I encourage everyone watching this video to send their public comments. You only have a day left. It is utterly ridiculous that Donald Trump thinks that he can use the United States Postal Service as a weapon against the people of the United States to try to restrict our voting rights, our ability to vote. The idea that the United States Postal Service is would be keeping a list of approved voters from the Trump administration really shows how desperate Donald Trump is to rig the election in his favor and in the GOP's favor. What I am truly hoping to see in this matter is that all of the GOP members that support Trump, they vote him out of, or they are voted out of office at the next election, and that's why it's important to use paper ballots. I have thought about what to do about the USPS. For now, I believe that we should keep it. We still use paper mail. If I had to state a preference on delivery of those paper ballots to our election offices, I would say deliver it yourself. If they have a ballot box that's right inside the door or up near the counter where it can be clearly seen, you're less likely to get any kind of interference. This is the power of voting. There's a lot of laws that we have indeed voted on, and being able to cast a paper ballot, have it counted without the use of electronics so that we can secure our elections, this year is my preferred way to handle this next election. The elections are upon us. Washington State's primary is coming up in August. If you see a place to write my name on the ballot, please do so. That is all I have for today. Thank you for your time, and may our path lead to peace and prosperity.